Hello YouTube frogs, and welcome back to another video on the YouTube channel. We have just been announced approximately like 2 hours ago-ish the new banners upcoming. So we have Klee RERUN banner and we have the weapon banner. They've both been announced, and I just want to discuss, are these banners worth your primos? And we're going to be discussing Klee RERUN with the 4 stars and also the weapon banner that's going to be alongside. All right, so this is the first half of 1.6, which is coming in 2 days. The first half is obviously Klee RERUN with these weapons, and then the second half, which will probably get noticed in about 3 weeks or so, is going to be Kazaha banner and likely the Freedom Sworn new 5-star and whatever other 5 stars on there. Yeah, let's get started. So we have the Klee RERUN banner, and I think the first thing that we notice is that the 4 stars that are on this banner, Fischl, Barbara, and Sucrose have, and correct me if I'm wrong, Twitch chat, but they have been rated up quite a bit, right? You guys have been saying that Fischl, Sucrose, and Barbara have been rated up 4 times. We are currently at 1.6, which is the upcoming, and each patch typically has 2 banners where they're about 3 weeks long, right? So in each of those banners, there's going to be 3 4 stars rated up. So given that they've been rated up 4 times, their uptime is almost like 40% compared to all the other 4 stars that we have, which is pretty high. I think for most of you guys, there's no question that this is you either do it or you don't. There's no like wishy-washy, maybe I'll pull it, because I feel like if you've been playing since the start of the game, 6 to 7 months, you likely have most of these 4 stars at high constellations, right? We've gotten Fischl for free in one of her events. We had Barbara for free. Sucrose has been rated up quite a bit overall in the banners, and then obviously Klee's being rerun, right? So if you want to take a little bit of a look at the 4-star constellations really quick. Sucrose, if you were interested in constellations, I think that the first one is the only quote-unquote super necessary one, right? It's the one that gains you an additional charge, but since the banner has been rated up so many times, you likely already have C1. After C1, this one is like it's okay, right? Increase by 2 seconds is just a 33% duration increase on her Q. Her Q is normally 6 seconds. C2 increases it by 2 seconds. That's all it is. And then these are just extra. And then there is Barbara. All right, I don't think we need to discuss Barbara. All right, she just heals, okay? Like, I don't even pay attention to what her constellations do. And I am sure that a lot of you guys probably have like C500 Barbara at this point. And you get a Barbara for free, so we're gonna move on from Barbara. The only one then to talk about really quick is Fischl. And I think Fischl is the one that maybe people would be interested in pulling constellations for. Where is she? There she is. So, Fischl constellations. C1 is just a slight damage increase to her main DPS. This is main DPS constellation based. C2 is just a one-time damage when the E is summoned. C4 is HP regen when you use her Q. And then C6 is the one that would really be impactful. So if you're close to C6 Fischl, like maybe you're like C5 or C4 and you want to finish her off, you can test your luck there. Okay, C6 Fischl is quite a nice constellation to have. It enables a lot of main DPS and support DPS compositions, whether you're running an overload comp with Yanfei or Hu Tao, or you're running an electrocharge comp with, you know, Keqing, Mona. These are all totally viable with C6. Now, quick discussion on Klee. Obviously, if you guys don't have Klee and you're interested in Klee, there's no doubt that you're going to be pulling, right? Because you want Klee. But I want to quickly discuss constellations briefly before I mention them more in depth on the guide video that we have coming out soon. C1. This is basically just extra damage. The downside of C1 is that it sometimes interferes with your Vaporize and Melt combos. When you're attacking, this certain chance is actually a 33% chance to happen. So if you are running her with Xingqiu, for example, and you're doing an auto charge combo, having this occasionally happen would ruin some of your Vaporize procs, so keep that in mind. C2, this is the one where quote-unquote whales would be targeting. If you don't have any constellations but you're a whale, then this is the one that would be interesting because it's minus defense. There are only 3 sources of minus defense in the game. One is Klee at minus 23%. The second is Lisa's passive talent when she switches in, minus 15%. And the last one is Razor's C4, which is minus 15% defense. Now, minus defense is different than resistance shred, so keep that in mind. Resistance shred is not minus defense percent. Elemental or physical resistance shred is different and calculated differently than minus defense percent. Minus defense percent is actually better than physical resistance shred once you're down to a certain level. What that means is because typically if you have like superconduct, when things have like high physical resistance, right, you'll be able to shred down to 0% and then it's halved. Minus defense percent doesn't have any diminishing returns. So that's C2. Defense percent, yes, take notes, chat. C3 is +3 levels. C4 is a big nuke when she leaves the field when she has her Q up, okay? And then C6 is, I feel like, not as necessary, but it's C6. So C1, C2, if you're like a whale frog, okay? Whether or not you are pulling on this banner, good luck on saving. Or if you are pulling on this banner, I wish you the best of luck in getting Klee or whatever constellation that you want from the 4-star characters. But that's my thoughts. For most people, it's a relatively easy skip, right? And if you're really interested in Klee, then you would pull for the banner. Weapons. We have seen both of these 5-star weapons before. Lost Prayer to the Sacred Winds has been on Raid Up, and Skyward Pride has also been on Raid Up multiple times, right? So these are not new 5-star weapons that we're seeing. So in that sense, it's already a less of an incentive to pull. Looking at the 4-star weapons, we have the new bow. So I want to quickly talk about this new bow briefly in comparison to the other physical DPS bows that we have. We have Lion's Roar, which is not super necessary. Witsith is great if you're going for burst comp. Bell is a claymore, and that is all I will say. Favonius Lance is probably the one that is like most interested, right? So in general, nothing really speaks out about these weapons because they've always been on, right? So if you guys are planning on skipping, it's probably an easy skip. These banners are probably one of the easier skip ones to prepare for Kozilek banner in the second half. So that's like my initial thoughts. Let's take a look at this new bow. So this is a bow that is theoretically designed for Fischl, yes. Physical damage bonus, 51.7%. So it's a main DPS Fischl bow for sure with a base attack as 5. This is massive. This physical damage bonus, 51.7%, the lower base attack but higher physical damage. And then normal attack on hit increases skill damage by 20%. So it's just literally just meant for Fischl. In comparison, actually, let's check this out. It's actually pretty fat in terms of a main DPS, right? If we're looking at what we want to compare it against is, for example, Windbloom Ode, right? So we see that Windbloom Ode is 510, Elemental Mastery is 165. This is a support-based bow. So Rust is at level 90. It'll probably be about the same base attack. I'm actually not really sure because it's level 80 versus 90. Attack percent and the normal attack damage 80% versus we have up to 51.7 plus 20%. So this is like 71.7%, you can assume, right? So this is only at R1. You know, I'm going to be guessing that at R5 it's going to be at about 40%. I think it'll probably be same damage output as Rust, considering 80% normal attack damage at R5 versus 71 to 91% physical from this one. Rust has attack percent, which is 37.7, right? So I think Rust comes out on top at higher refinements as a main DPS bow. This bow does increase Oz damage though, that's for sure, right? So that's one thing that Rust doesn't do. This gives 20 to 40% elemental skill damage is what I'm gonna guess. We have that bow. We also have Compound Bow, which is the other one. I would say that I'm gonna pull for it probably just to have it, also because the bow looks cool, and I might make a video on it just to see the damage output on it. But in general, I would probably say that there's no need. Unless you really want a bow that matches Fischl's aesthetic, I don't think it's super necessary. And Favonius Lance are the only other two weapons that I'm looking at. You would never pull on this banner for Lion's or Bell. You don't have Favonius Lance, but you have a bunch of spear users, you could consider it. It is one of the best scaling and highest usage energy recharge weapons in the game. We all know how strong Favonius weapons are. So there is that. And then lastly is Witsith. You know, the funny thing is I would previously recommend Witsith more, but I'm actually not really inclined for you guys to even pull for Witsith because we have Dodoko Tails coming out. And you guys know that Dodoko Tails, right? It's going to be the new meta in DPS weapons. Catalyst users are typically charge attack based, and this is insane. Like, we get a free R5 from the Midsummer event. I'm no longer going to recommend for those people who are playing right now. There's less of a need to get Witsith, and this is completely free, fully R5 with a very nice attack percent stat stick. I'm gonna guess this is going to be 32% at R5, but we'll see. 32% charge attack damage on top of a free catalyst? That's fat. This is really easy. When you guys get my Klee guide video, when I explain the attack rotation of Klee, it's a normal charge attack repeated stance. So I'll show you right now as a kind of example, right? So throwing out your E, and then you do auto charged, right? Until you run out of stamina. So this type of play style works extremely well with Dodoko Tails because you're always going to have this uptime. So that's my thoughts. I think that with that being said, I think these weapon banners are less incentivized. So if you guys want to skip to the end of the video, these banners are both a highly likelihood of skip for most players out there. We've had these 5-star weapons before, and the 4-star weapons, either we have a lot that are currently available or we're getting better ones in the future. Better ones in the future, I mean Dodoko Tails is coming out, which makes Witsith less valuable, right? And then Klee banner, we have all these 4-stars that have been rerun multiple times, so you guys likely have constellations for them. It's really only if you're aiming for Klee, and that's it. Okay? So that is the quick TLDR. Good luck if you're rolling for Klee. I do not recommend you roll on this weapon banner. There is lower incentive. I will pull for the 4-star bow, but that's just because I want a stock of it, right? That is my thoughts on the new banners coming out. Thank you very much for tuning in. Hope you guys enjoyed the little run through there. Consider liking and subscribing. We'll have the Klee video out very soon, hopefully when she drops or a day or two after. And yeah, that's about it. We'll see you guys next time. Thank you guys very much for watching.